Let's Ruin It podcast, where we take your favorite pop culture media, put a legal spin on it, and like all lawyers, we ruin it. Welcome to our holiday edition 2025, where we're going to do the Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
A 1994 classic.
So good.
I don't feel old even a little bit.
Yeah.
Guys, for the occasion, I decided to bust out my Santa's favorite hoe.
Show us.
Oh, I love Santa's favorite hoe. Oh,
You know,
it's you.
You know
That's
what, Liz?
me.
You're everyone's favorite hoe.
I am.
That's it. All year round.
I'm a hoe for all
That's
occasions,
it.
Jenny. What can I say?
And
A
Jenny,
hoe for the people.
Jenny
That's
is joining us virtually today.
Virtually.
Tis the season
my
for
husband
She
grabs
virtually
the
kids.
wishes she could be here, but
Yes.
she's got munchkins that are down for the count.
Yes, but
Do I wish I could be there? It's fine. I
Hey
love
now.
it.
but luckily this is not our only holiday episode, and we're going to be back all
Yeah.
together, the trio of us,
hope
here
so.
for another holiday edition
Yes.
of the podcast. So stay tuned for that.
So my confession, I had never
Yeah.
seen this movie.
Are you kidding?
Had not.
What?
Until
Oh,
you
Dad is
guys
about to kick you out.
decided that we should do it.
I
never saw it. I'm gonna and look, Tim Allen, forgive me. I'm not the biggest of fans.
You're not a tool time person at home.
Not so much. No, not so much.
I love
that was
show.
Not
good
so much.
one.
I love
Tim,
that
you like
show.
that? Tim the Tool Man. The Tool,
That was a good
tool
one.
Man. Not a big fan.
No, all right. Well, he's
And I'm
so
not
good in
really-
this, though.
Not really a fan of the other stuff lately too. I find him unfunny. But I have to say, I watched it with fresh eyes.
How was he
Yeah,
for you in
and-
this?
It was cute. It was cute. I
how was
enjoyed
he
it,
for you?
and it was funny. And it
So
was funny.
I'm shocked that you hadn't seen this before because it was such a monumental movie. It's like
Again,
spawned
well,
two
Not
sequels.
to
She
beat
was
this
too
one to
old.
death, but I was
I
gonna
know.
say,
Too old.
remember, I'm older than you guys.
guess,
So
yeah.
in
I think you were-
1994, I was 22.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not
I'm
the
not
movie
really
for you.
running for the Santa Claus.
Jenny and I were 10.
And you didn't have kids yet, so it's
And
not
I
like you
didn't
would
have
be
kids
showing
yet.
Kids this.
And it's not one of the ones I recycled from my kids. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny that you say that though, because when when Alex was born, he was born in 2004. He's my oldest, and we just watched The Polar Express came on again, and he's like, "Oh, I love this
That one's
movie."
creepy.
And I realized
that
it's
movie.
2004. It was the year he was born. He loves this movie. I found it creepy too.
It is creepy.
I don't
told
like
him.
it. I think it's
I said I
creepy.
think
We're not doing that
like
movie
it.
for this
the
podcast.
imagery, it's just creepy.
No, I don't like
find
it.
it really.
I don't like the animation.
Alex is like, I get it. It was an early version of that kind of like
Creepiness.
that type of. I forgot what he
Like
called it.
animatronic
Josh, do you know what
type-
that is?
it's
That
not
kind
even
of AI,
animatronic.
that kind of animation that they did there. I forgot what he called it, but he's like, it's an early version. It looks a
not
little
great.
weird, kind of creepy.
I feel
No, I
like,
didn't like
Tom
it.
Hanks looks weird.
Jenny, you like this movie. Like, you grew up with this.
Which one?
The
The
Santa Claus?
Yes.
Because we were prime age.
yes.
We were like 10 years old,
Right,
perfect
yes.
for it.
I have a confession of my
Go
own
on.
to make.
Oh, no.
I did see it. It's not that type of confession. I have
Okay.
seen it. But I think up until the moment that we were discussing doing this, and Diana said something to the effect of the Santa Claus, like, because it's like the Claus, and also he's
You
Santa
didn't
Claus.
get it?
And I said, wait,
Yeah, I was like, we should do
say
that
that one more
movie.
time?
And they're like, well, what are the legal issues? I was like, the movie is all about
It's literally
a
a
clause.
contract clause because they spell the movie with an E at the end of clause because it's about a contract clause. I'm like,
Yep.
it is about the law.
It
Like, the
is.
whole thing is about the
Yes.
law. And
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't realize that.
you blew my mind.
Well, they did spend a
Blue
lot of time, but Jenny, I will go that you were a kid. They spent a lot of time in the
guess,
movie
yeah.
explaining
Right.
Yeah.
the head elf guy,
Bernard.
Bernard, or
Bernard.
whatever he decides to call him at the moment, which
Wait,
I found
but by
hilarious.
the way, is Bernard not the fella? And Diana will probably
David
know this,
Krumholtz.
Yeah.
from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think so,
he
yeah.
is. He's the friend.
Liz knew it too.
Yeah, no, I
He's
love
the
that
Yeah,
movie.
he's also
Okay, that movie I would do. I love that movie.
He's also like a
I love that
pivotal person in ER, which I like love ER, and
Oh.
he
Oh,
was
no, I
just
didn't
like
do
a
ER.
guest star. Like he only had like a few
okay.
episodes, but
Okay.
what happens because of him in ER is like some of the most important stuff that happens.
Okay.
in that show.
Oh.
All right.
So
All right, interesting.
Um,
Yeah, no, he's one of those character actors that pops up on
Yeah.
on a bunch of stuff, and
Yeah.
you're like, I know that guy.
right,
Like, yeah,
right.
yeah,
David
for sure.
Krumholtz, and so I love this movie. I grew up loving it.
My kids really like it
my
too.
family loves it, and we watched this-
Coincidentally, his name being SC.
Oh yeah, Scott Calvin, right? And the sequel, the first sequel was really good, where he finds Mrs. Claus.
Yes,
and then,
I enjoy. Okay, funny thing.
Oh, I know we're not doing Santa Claus 2, but I feel like we have to discuss at least some part of Santa Claus 2 because the whole finding a wife thing I thought was a little problematic. But we could get into it.
Yeah,
we can touch upon it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
We're not
'cause
going to do our own
actually,
episode about
because
it.
this is like the holiday season and they're showing the holiday movies.
Right.
So Freeform has been just like blasting these movies. This was literally on last night again. I watched it again just for
But
funsies.
you opted to watch it with commercials rather than just going on Disney and
Oh, I
throwing
watched
it
on
up
Yeah,
there.
I did. It just happened to be on, so I was like, "Yeah, I did." I left it on in the background when I was doing other
I
stuff.
watched
Oh, man.
on Disney,
She
But then
watched
they
it
did
with,
it- they
she watched
did-
it with commercials.
They did
like
they
the
did a
trilogy.
thing. They did. They showed them like back
The
to back
third
to
one's
back.
not good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever seen the third
That's
one.
Martin Short?
Martin Short as Jack Frost, and
I didn't see that one.
No, wasn't a big fan of that one. But then they go on to like more recently in the last few years, they have the Santa Chronicles, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
it's a
with,
series.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell and Goldie
Oh, then
Hawn.
it's not that one. What is it? The Santa Claus something.
That's
It's
the
a
Santa Claus
series
Chronicle.
on.
Oh.
It's a series with a Scott Calvin. The whole group of
Oh.
them, and it like follows them. Their kids are a little bit older, like teenagers, and they live in the North
Oh, I
Pole.
haven't seen that.
And it's him. Elizabeth Mitchell comes back to play Mrs. Claus.
Oh,
and,
no kidding.
And just came out a couple of years ago, and I watched the season because like
Obviously.
I'm really into it. The Santa Claus Chronicles. Yeah, the Santa Claus
No.
Chronicles.
That can't be it because that's
Is
the
that
one.
not
with,
it?
That's the one with Kurt Russell.
No, that's not it. What's the one that has like it's
Oh
literally
yeah, wait.
the Santa
the
Claus
Christmas Chronicles. Is that it?
the Christmas Chronicles?
Oh, maybe Christmas Chronicles is what you and I are thinking of, Liz.
No, I'm thinking of the one that's literally with it's about like a Tim Allen as Santa
That's not
Claus. And it's a Disney, like it's on Disney and it's
Oh,
a
all right.
series.
We'll have to
I don't
look on
know.
Disney.
Yeah.
I don't
Check it
know.
out.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's okay. That one's But the first two movies I really love, and I was surprised I hadn't seen it in so long, and we just showed it to our kids the other night for the first time. My son loved it, like absolutely.
Oh,
loved
it's so
it.
good. It's so fun.
The Santa Clauses. That's the series. The Santa Clauses.
Clauses
20
like
Get it
the
'cause it's
fam.
not-
Oh, I got
2022 to 2023.
Cute,
and it's
cute.
basically about all of them living in the North Pole and like what's happening with
Oh, I
them.
should check that out.
It's good.
That's
I
cute.
don't know,
I
I
should
like
check
it.
that. I'm now a fan. So,
And now, like, I realized having seen it again last week for the podcast that I still remember every word of the movie. Like,
wow.
I remember, I think the entire dialogue. I could just do like a one-woman show of this movie. So,
all right. So I'm gonna start with a different topic. First,
not the contract.
if you don't mind.
Okay.
Because the
fine.
contract
Yeah,
is
go
the
on.
thing.
Because there's so much family law stuff
Sure.
too.
That's what I was gonna say.
thought you guys.
So I was going to say
could
to
really,
you, Jenny,
you know-
why don't we start?
Yeah.
Because the beginning of
With
the
what?
movie, before we even get to the Santa part, is the exchange between the exes. You know, Scott and his ex-wife with their son, and
Yeah.
Charlie is kind of kicking and screaming, doesn't really want to spend Christmas Eve with his dad.
Right.
Mom's kind of like, no, you're going to have a great time, blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, they are sniping at each other and fighting as they're
front of the
doing
kid.
in front
Yeah.
of the kid. And he's like, why are you guys always fighting?
And clearly the stepdad, Neil, Judd Reinhold.
Judge.
Judge Reinhold. Judge
Yeah.
Reinhold.
Yeah.
He clearly like says some negative stuff about Scott as a dad. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of comes
Oh,
out.
yeah.
So
And Scott doesn't exactly have nice things to
to
say
say
about
Neil.
Neil.
No. So like, are there issues there? Like, what happens when a kid doesn't want to do Christmas with one
Well,
parent?
I gotta say, I give her credit because she did, in my view, what she's supposed to do is, no, this is your time with your dad.
You're gonna love it.
have a great time.
Yeah.
You're great. And the kid's like, you're gonna come back tomorrow, right?
Right.
Like first
Good.
thing in the
First
morning
thing
and
in
the
the
crack of dawn.
morning.
Like, so fine.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever I gotta do to get him to stay.
right.
You know, I mean, I didn't get the impression that it's not like he hates his dad, but they definitely
Oh.
are not that bonded. Like,
And they're not as close. And plus, it
Yeah.
sounds like looks like mom lives in like a pretty big house,
Mhm.
and he's probably got the like big room and all the cool stuff, and mom
Mhm.
probably cooks the meals. And
Although
Tim
Dad's
Allen
house is
doesn't.
nice. Like
is
Scott's
nice.
house is
It's nice, but
And
then
he
remember
made
he
effort-
tried to cook him.
Oh yeah, he couldn't cook
He
the
tried-
meal, and he burned
Okay,
it.
and
They
they
go to
went
a
to
diner.
and they went to
Burned the kitchen
Denny's,
down.
but
Yeah.
it's America's diner. I mean,
Right. Which kind of like
What I thought was hilarious was when they come into Denny's and they're like, they
and
sit
there's
down
all
and
the
you
other
look
divorced
around.
dads with the kids. Yeah, that was
and
great.
it's like
All the
burn
divorce
the
dads.
roast.
Right,
Yeah,
that was-
and then
that
he
was
like has
fantastic.
like a bandaged hand because he also burned something.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, and
That was
and
cute.
the waitress is like, "Yep, I've seen you guys all night. I
yeah,
got you.
we go
I
to-
got you." It was pretty funny though because Jenny, don't you do the same thing though? Like as
What?
a divorce lawyer, like when I go out,
Yeah.
like. You know, whatever restaurant I go to, I sit there and I look at like the single parent,
Always.
mostly the dads, mostly like
Yeah.
single dads with their kids, and I always go, "Oh, parenting time weekend."
Oh.
100. I can't even tell you how many times I have said that. I have been like, I would like point it out in my head. I'd be
I know
like,
it's terrible,
guy's-
but
that guy's having parenting time right now.
right.
And my husband will be like, how could you possibly
That's
know
what
that?
my
I
husband
just know.
says. Right. And I'm
I
like, I'm
just know.
telling you.
I
You
just know.
You've seen enough of them in your line of work.
But like also no, but it's also like, do you see how he's trying to connect and
Right.
they like are not talking to him? I
Right.
just know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
because this was 94, you know, the kid is just sitting there, but now I'm guessing it's like
Yeah.
kids on their phones.
They're on
just
their
like,
phones,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, and we can get into this later, but then custody becomes a huge issue in
It
the
does.
movie.
Huge issue.
It
And I-
does. And I was very disappointed in that whole thing. First of all, I was I didn't like Neil from the get-go. And I'm like, dude, why are you trying to ruin Santa Claus for this kid? Like, and the kid
Oh
gets,
my
psychologist.
god.
and the kid
he's
gets a
still
bit,
so
and I'm like, as a
little.
psychologist, like, why are you trying to shit on this kid believing on
Just not connected to his
Santa?
inner child. That's the issue.
It's terrible.
But yeah, that it is terrible, and we'll get into that. So basically, the premise is Scott Calvin. He works.
Actually, I think he's got a great job. He
Yeah.
works at a toy company.
Toy company.
That's what I
He's
can't
an
figure out,
executive,
like-
corporate executive of this toy company, killing it, crushing it. Because the beginning, it's like a Christmas party where he gets like,
Holiday party, yeah.
honored for
Yeah.
bringing in a lot of money that year. And
How does his son not love that though? Your dad works for a toy
He's
company.
probably just
Yeah.
working nonstop and doesn't have time
Yeah.
for his kid.
Well, and that's obviously the messaging is
Yeah.
that he's not
And-
that present.
He's not a present
Yeah.
dad. Yeah.
Get it?
And there's
Present.
when but when he's driving to pick him up for his Christmas parenting time, he's obviously running very, very late.
And he's
But then
lying.
he
Yes.
calls her and he's like, oh my God, there's this like pile up and there's so much traffic.
And
Meanwhile, he's just like zooming
Zooming
down.
down,
The
there's
highway.
no one on the road. I know. So that's like, it gives you insight as to the kind of parent he is and
Yeah.
why he's disconnected from his kid. And so then the kid comes to stay for Christmas Eve night. And in the middle of the night, there's, some
There's
commotion.
Wait, what did he call it? It's a ladder.
Oh, it's like
I didn't say a ladder. I said it's a clatter.
a clatter. That's right. Because first they read the night before Christmas.
Yes.
And then the kid
You
goes
know
to
what?
sleep.
I give him credit.
Yeah, he read the
was
book.
trying
He
to be
tried.
like, like Santa's the guy, and I'm reading you the story, and he tried to make the dinner. He tried.
Yeah.
Because
I give him
Yeah.
credit. He tried.
because the kid's mom and the stepdad
Yeah.
have kind of told him that like Santa's not real. Santa's just a
Which I think
feeling.
is just really so messed up. Like
It
this
is
kid
messed
he's
up.
little. He's so little.
Yeah, and actually
Like
that's
let
one
the
of
kid have it.
and that's one of those things Scott said, like, wait, you told him that Santa's not real? Like, that's something you should have discussed with me. Is that
I agree.
is that an issue that comes up at all in these and is there really
I
any
mean, I
legality
don't-
to that? Like, can't the
I
parent
don't
just
know
say?
that there's
I don't think there's
I
legality.
don't know that there's
to it.
legality,
Mhm.
but I do think that it's inappropriate for the stepdad to try to
I agree.
get himself involved.
Mhm.
Especially, if there's one thing if like dad is completely absent and the stepdad sort
Sure.
of steps in and is, raising this child with mom, but that's the case here. Like,
No.
yes, he's perhaps not as present as maybe, mom would want him to be, but he's an active, involved father.
Right.
Well,
who
to the
is
extent
clearly
they let
concerned
him
about
too,
his-
because they're trying
Sure.
to. I kind of got the impression they were trying to cut him out.
Yes,
like
I was
Yeah,
offended by
also,
that.
good point that it's a lie here in the movie. Santa
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
So they're lying to him by saying that there is no Santa. Because
That
clearly
is an excellent point, Diana.
yes, definitely not by way of Josh, our producer. But that's an excellent point.
Josh has his finger to the pulse.
Oh, yeah, it is a lie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's defamatory. Who
For
knows?
all our young listeners,
Yeah, but
he's real.
he's totally real.
But that is something that should have been between the parents and not
And discussed.
and
Yeah,
not
I
the
think
stepfather.
so.
Just because he's a psychologist
sure
doesn't
this-
mean he has to like.
And I'm sure this comes up more with like bigger issues, like whether a parent can say whether they believe in God or whether there is a God,
Right.
and the other parent might
Yeah.
be more, religious, and then there's divorce. I'm
There's
guessing
definitely
people must have
issues-
discussions
No,
about that.
There are definitely issues that come up surrounding religion.
Raising
Sure.
a kid in a
So
certain faith.
there's definitely case law with regard to religion.
Mhm.
I don't know whether a kid believes in Santa or when you tell him about Santa
Mhm.
would be covered under
right.
that. But in terms of religion, generally the case law says that whoever is the primary
Primary.
custodial parent
Right.
can have the sort of final say with regard to
And what about if it's, like,
the
joint
religious
custody?
practices. Well, so then that becomes a little bit more complicated, and it really
Uh-huh.
needs to be agreed upon between the two parents,
Mhm.
which is
It could
sometimes
be,
really
Can
hard.
it be contracted for in like the parenting agreement?
Yes.
Yeah, you can say in the
Sometimes you
parenting
do. Like
agreement.
in particular, like when there are religious disputes, we'll try to put that in there in terms of like we've decided the kids are going to be raised, whatever, and so we're going to
Yeah.
support that, especially if the parents are two different religions. It
Yeah.
sometimes becomes important to say, well, this is what we did when we were together. We're going to continue it
Got
or
it.
whatever, because you do
Yeah.
have interfaith marriages and there are different
absolutely.
scenarios. So
Right,
it does
es-
become
es-
important.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like the religious education and bar mitzvahs or christenings or baptisms
communion,
or
right?
yeah, right, all of
Absolutely.
those things. So
And I mean, I know
um,
that you guys associate Santa Claus more with like Christianity, but it's not really. Like in my mind, it's more secular at this point. Santa
I mean,
Claus.
I think so.
I think Santa Claus is definitely more of a secular
is
thing than
more
a religious
secular.
thing. I know it's related
no,
to Christmas,
I'll
but
disagree.
I mean, I know
No,
that.
I disagree.
I think that like, I don't know. I think it's like, yes, it is associated with Christianity because it's associated with Christmas. It obviously has nothing to do with Jesus. Like Santa and Jesus
doesn't.
have nothing to do with each
Sure.
other.
right.
So there's,
But I mean, let's be honest. Like, Jesus really has nothing to do with Christmas either. That was just Christianity trying to push out the pagan religions and taking over and appropriating the pagan holidays and things that were going on. Because as a Christian Catholic in particular, I can tell you right now, everything that I heard growing up, Jesus was not born during that time of year. All of the history that's come out since then says it's pretty solid that Jesus was born in the summer.
oh,
Right,
summer
he was
baby.
actually born on December 25th. I've
Not
heard
on
this.
December 25th.
that's
We
what I
just,
thought.
we just pilfered that because we wanted to push paganism to the side because that was the predominant religion then.
Okay.
And they
Yeah.
were trying to push it away and Christianity was trying to take over. So they took over the winter solstice holiday, appropriated a lot of the stuff that they did, like the tree and all that other stuff, and
Yeah.
made it part of Christmas, but really has nothing to do with. That's why to me I say I think Santa
It's
Claus is
secular.
more of a secular thing because we kind of took it over, but it's not like it's really Christian.
Yeah, but to me, I mean, I hear what you're saying,
Mhm.
but to me, it's associated with the very Christian holiday of Christmas, right? So
Yeah, although
in
if
any
you think
case.
about it, like, okay,
guess.
Soviet Union, right? In the Soviet Union,
Yeah.
like my parents, although we're Jewish, 100%, like they grew up with like New Year's
a tree.
and a New Year's tree
Right.
being, and it
I
was,
was just telling.
and that was a
I was just
completely
telling Josh Ellis
secular
about this.
holiday.
Right. And you also
No
had,
religion
what was
associated
what's the
with it at
figure?
all.
What's the figure?
Grandpa Frost.
Yeah, basically,
Right.
yeah,
His
Grandpa
granddaughter.
I
Frost,
knew there was a
And his
figure. But
granddaughter.
like
his
every,
granddaughter slash helpful
Snowflake.
assistant,
yeah,
like yes,
every
yes.
country
Snow-
has something
snowflake.
different.
Exactly.
you
I mean,
know?
in Iceland, I hope I get this right. We went to Iceland and I was the only one awake in this like van that took us to another place. And I just asked the driver 100 questions about like how they celebrate holidays.
Oh, wow.
And they have like 12 different Santas and each one has like a different persona.
Oh yeah.
And they like, I'm gonna mess this up, but like they
Yeah.
bring little gifts like every night leading up to Christmas.
Well, then it's
and-
funny because then I just was seeing that because on the eve of Saint Nicholas, they have the Krampus
Oh yeah.
in the Scandinavian countries
Right.
too, who comes and does for the naughty kids, right? Because Saint Nicholas, they put out their shoes and they get a
Yes.
treat in their shoes.
Which I think
if
Iceland
they're
does
good,
that, yeah.
and if they're naughty, Krampus comes. And so a
Oh.
lot of the countries I was seeing, some places have Krampus runs, like it was friggin' hilarious.
That's
I've been seeing them
interesting.
online. It's
So-
so
But
crazy.
But so they had like a
let's-
Santa Claus in the Soviet Union. It was just Grandpa Frost, but he's
Frost.
bringing you
But
presents.
he's not associated with any religion whatsoever.
But-
Grandpa Frost was this very secular New Year's figure.
Right.
He has nothing to do with any
But
sort
it's
of
almost
religion
like,
or
But
any
I
but it's
think
like the
it's
religious
kind of-
holiday, like the
they're
New Year's holiday
trying
with the
to-
tree and everything
Yeah.
was like a Christmas, but a non-religious Christmas kind of tradition
Well,
in the Soviet
funny.
Union.
So in Italy, in my background, right, I know they call the Santa Claus. Okay, I'm gonna blank out now. They call the Santa Claus.
What?
I'm blanking out.
Liz, what? Something like with Noel, Papa Noel.
Baba Noel. Okay, so it's Baba Noel.
Girl, I'm not even Italian.
I
What's
know.
the matter with
She got
you?
it.
Was that, but no, because I'm thinking of the other one. They have La Befana, which is the Christmas witch. So La Befana
Oh.
comes on the 6th, January 6th. That's when they do their gift giving, and La Befana brings the kids stuff then,
Okay.
and it's a Christmas witch. Like, where are you getting a Christmas witch
I think
from?
that
Like,
she's actually in
it's wild.
that the Santa Clauses series, like that's
Christmas Witch?
associated.
There's a lot
The
of
Christmas
interesting,
Witch.
like
Yeah, I
different.
think they had that in this, like the series that was born of
and a
this
lot of
movie.
different countries
So-
have different things like that.
Well, let's talk about Tim Allen becoming
Our
Santa
guy,
Claus.
Okay,
right?
So
Let's bring it all
the
back.
biggest thing is, all right, Santa lands on their roof, and the kid wakes up and is like, "There's a clatter. I hear a
Yeah.
clatter." And Scott gets out of bed. He thinks there's an intruder.
Mm-hmm.
He goes outside. He sees that there's someone on his roof.
Right.
And he's like, "What are you doing there?" And Santa loses his footing.
Yep.
Falls
And
off the
falls.
roof, and
Yeah.
and then
Dies.
dies.
He
I
killed
guess.
Santa.
but, like disappears.
Disappears.
And
like,
but his suit is there, and there's like a little
Yeah.
card. This is important. There's a
Oh,
little card
it's
that he picks
important.
up.
This card is critical.
Yeah.
it's the be all and end all here.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
he picks up the card and says like, "Put on the suit," and basically he does
The
it.
reindeer will know what to do.
Yeah, the
right.
reindeer will know what to do, and he does it, and that's all that's visible. That's important. All you can read is those words, and he puts it on, and eventually it basically becomes Santa for the night. Doesn't know what he's
Yeah.
doing, but it happens. The reindeer help him.
Yeah.
He's kind of winging it, not doing the best job, kind
So
of
let's
cranky
talk-
about it.
Let's discuss that, shall
Okay,
we? And his
because-
breaking and entering into all of these people's homes.
Right? Okay.
Well, is it breaking and entering because he's now assumed the role of Santa? So
let's
and
get
Santa
technical
is
about this,
welcome
Jenny.
Even
into
a
their
real
homes.
Santa, even
Isn't
like
the real Santa really kind of breaking
isn't
and
he also
entering?
breaking and entering?
You know, it's a good question. And isn't Santa being invited into these people's homes,
Well,
right?
How so?
I mean,
there
they're
is-
putting
there is
out
Milk and
They're
cookies.
putting out milk and cookies to entice him.
Yeah.
Come enter.
There is an implicit invitation
Yes.
that Santa is welcome in the home, right?
Mhm.
And so theoretically, you'd assume that Santa, whoever is in the Santa suit at the moment, is Santa. Santa, the entity, is welcome into the house.
Right.
So I don't know. Is he breaking and entering?
If he's assumed the
know, it's
role
a
of
good
Santa,
question.
is he breaking and entering?
I don't know that he's officially
he's
assumed
not.
the role.
It's
yet.
funny though because like in this
Yes, he has to
movie,
put on the suit.
all the grown-ups in this movie don't believe in Santa.
Nope.
And one thing I even thought about when I was little watching this movie was, wait, but then if they wake up on Christmas morning and there are presents that they didn't buy themselves, aren't they
Right.
like?
I've always
the heck?
wondered this.
I always thought about this
Always.
as a Jewish
How do
kid
they
who
explain
grew up
it?
knowing
Seriously,
there was no
no,
Santa.
Diana, 100%. You're right. Like,
Yeah.
where'd they think it came from?
Right, like I'm like, if Santa has for all these years in this
Right.
movie's universe been delivering presents and parents are waking up and being like, I didn't buy that, you didn't buy that, where'd it come from?
Well,
then
then
wouldn't
who
all
did,
the
ma'am?
parents, all the grown-ups in this movie believe in Santa?
One would think.
Right.
But instead they don't because like the police, everyone is like,
Because they're losers.
they're losers.
They are
all th-
losers.
And like his work associates, everyone is just like, oh, there's no Santa. It's like, well, then where are those presents coming from under your tree?
Loser.
Losers. So he assumes the role of Santa. Then he wakes up the next morning. Oh, they even go to the North Pole. They meet
Oh, yeah,
Bernard.
no,
they meet
no,
the elves.
let's
There's a
not
whole thing that
forget
happens.
all
A
of
whole,
that.
So,
the
hold
whole
on.
night.
So now he meets Bernard, and this is where it gets
Bernard, I love it.
spicy. Not
Wacky
spicy in that
hijinks
sense. That'd be
ensue,
weird.
Jenny. Yes.
Wacky hijinks ensue.
They
Favorite
right,
part.
not spicy.
Yes, but it gets weird.
It gets dicey. It
It
gets,
gets dicey, not spicy,
Not
just dicey.
spicy.
Well, because he says, take us home. So the reindeer take him
To
to
the-
Santa's home.
To the North Pole. Yes, and then
Right. And Bernard says to him, the head elf, and Bernard is like, happy to see ya. I guess Santa disappeared and you put on the suit. And Tim
Right.
Allen is like, sure did. And Bernard is like, didn't you read the card? And then
Right.
puts it under like a little magnifying
A
glass.
little magnifying.
a big magnifying glass. And all around this tiny little business card, all
Mhm.
around in the teeniest of practically invisible letters,
Yep.
is basically a full ass contract that says, by putting on the suit, you agree to assume the role of Santa in perpetuity, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
up until someone else murders you. Which, by the way, we should address that after we're done with this clause part of it. We should talk about whether or not Tim Allen actually killed Santa.
Yeah, whether
But
there was
Yeah.
like negligence and all that.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
put down notes for
But
that.
so basically, he has now, without knowing it,
Mhm.
signed this lifelong contract.
So yeah,
He's
So
an indentured
the
servant. of
Indentured,
sorts.
right?
and the
Indentured
validity,
servant contract.
the validity of this, it's like, okay, he didn't read it, negotiate it, or like assent to it, basically,
Nope.
because you
No
can't
meeting
read
in the
those.
minds at all.
No meeting of the minds, no lack of informed consent,
Correct.
unconscionability, like literally life-altering consequences
Mm-hmm.
in perpetuity
Mhm.
that include like physical transformations. Like that's an unconscionable contract, even if
what's
he
really-
knew
it's
about the
less
What's
terms.
really the consideration for any contract? You need a consideration,
Right, like
What
what's
would
he
be-
getting out
what
of
would
it?
be the consideration?
Joy.
Being Santa. Like, he didn't ask to be Santa. How do we know that
you
this
know what?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
eventually he does.
That's a thankless job.
Yeah, but eventually he does get to live at the North Pole. That's where he raises his family. So I guess he's getting like lifelong, like
He does get
you know,
kick-ass cocoa.
yeah,
Made
he
from the
gets, I mean,
1200
eventually he gets like a
The
home out of it.
1200-year elf. What was her
But,
name
like,
again?
he
She's so
didn't-
cute.
Judy.
Judy.
He didn't agree to this consideration. Like, this wasn't a proper
No.
contract where they negotiated the terms.
Mhm.
Like,
It's an
it's
adhesion
just
contract.
sprung upon
It
him.
is an
And
adhesion.
he basically has to just like live with it. And by the way, it's not just the physical appearance of it all, right? His health actually changes
Yeah.
because his cholesterol then like skyrockets and like he's got
He
all these
starts
health
gaining
problems
weight.
now.
He can't like
Yeah.
His hair is
he will like if he shaves his beard in one scene,
and
and then
it's boof.
just right away. Poof. It's like to agree to all this. First of all,
One would think he was Italian, Diana.
are-
I don't know. Like
these are very clearly material terms that were hidden,
Yeah.
and I mean hidden, in this contract.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I think our listeners should know is that contracts can't like hide a very important part.
Correct.
Like if you get a
Right.
contract and it's like just pages, like dozens of pages of like
Mm-hmm.
legalese. They're not allowed to just like put a line in the middle of like page 33 that says something super important to the overall
Yes.
concept of the contract.
Okay, so let's assume this contract then is presumably not enforceable. Is Tim Allen suing the North Pole?
I
'Cause
guess
Sa-
the
he
North
is Santa
Pole,
Claus.
and
that's-
also what jurisdiction, like who's
Is there-
governing
is
this?
there like is there like a governing board? And again, what's the jurisdiction?
Like, what
where
law
is he suing that?
right, what law
Right.
applies? Like it happened in the U.S. is where like he, I guess, agreed to the contract by putting on the suit.
Is it some sort of like international law?
Long
like, do you have to
arms.
get
it's the law
Do you
of
have to
magic, people.
law of-
Okay, so we're gonna take it to the Harry Potter court.
Hogwarts?
Yes.
Hogwarts. Do we take it? No. Do we take it to like the Hague? Like is
The
this
Hague,
Like
it's war crimes.
it's what? What'd you say?
It's like war crimes.
War crimes.
I mean, because honestly, if you think about it, everything that happens thereafter and him having to like spend the rest of the year becoming Santa and
And he
getting
says, "Get your affairs in
but
order."
and
right?
Yeah, and everything that's
Yeah.
happening, it's like it's under duress. Like everything he's doing essentially
Yeah.
is under duress. He's not able to
But also can't remember.
can't remember.
Let's be clear. Can't remember.
so that he have the capacity
Right.
to enter into this contract.
Can't remember what
if
happened.
it is a contract.
Charlie keeps trying to remind him, and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
Like he's just got no clue whatsoever. Doesn't know what happened. Doesn't remember. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
remember signing it until all of a sudden,
Because he didn't sign anything.
Didn't sign
right,
anything.
until things start happening.
I guess it's like
Yeah.
acceptance by performance, right? So they would say you didn't have
But-
to sign it. You accepted the terms of the contract by putting on the suit and then acting as Santa, acting out the
But
tasks
again,
throughout the
how
night.
would he? How could he possibly have known that putting on the suit would cause all of these
to
transformations?
change his
He's
entire
thinking he's
life and his
putting on a
blood pressure and all
costume.
this, right?
Right.
Well,
but by
yeah.
the way, as he's going through these changes and he's like kind of coming to terms with the fact that he's Santa, do you guys remember the scene where he's talking to all the kids at the playground?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
He's trying to like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
bond with the children, and all of these children on the playground are sitting on his lap.
Mhm.
And I was like, someone call the police.
Oh, I did think
like,
about
what?
that. I thought about how another parent could easily call the police
Sure.
and be like, this guy is
100%.
letting kids sit on his lap. And it started
Yeah.
because a little girl just like tapped him on the shoulder and then he looks at her and she basically sits down on his lap
Yeah.
immediately. So
Nope.
like,
That's not okay.
In
That's not
94,
okay in
though, was it
2025.
different in 94? Like, 1994,
I don't know, man.
right now, like, Tim Allen could, like, wave at one of these kids and someone would be like, oh, I'm going to call the police. But, like, in 1994, I feel like,
Yes.
I don't think
things
it would.
relaxed.
I don't think it wouldn't have been that suspicious necessarily.
That was back in the day
my
when we were like,
God,
you have to hug
awful.
every adult that says hello to you. Like, you've never
guess.
met
Oh my
my
God.
friend
But
from
then
college.
again, we are talking about a stranger in a park. And,
But he
and
wasn't
sitting on
inviting them to sit on the lap. They were taking the initiative because they could feel in their heart that this is Santa.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what happened. Like,
No,
I get it.
he's not the
child
only
endangerment.
big guy with beard and gray hair. It's just
No,
this little
guys.
girl was like, this is Santa.
No, he was fucking creepy. Child endangerment. Call the police.
All right, fair.
Like,
But
that's
also,
my
like,
position on
under
the matter.
duress and
No.
lacks the capacity and doesn't have a choice. Like, this is all happening against his will.
True.
Yeah.
Although he is
Well,
wearing
then
a lot
that's
of red.
That's his defense in court if he gets charged.
Right.
With,
But also, so by the way, he then does end up in court, not on a criminal matter first, but on the custody matter, because mom and stepdad Neil are basically like, you think you're crazy, you think that you're Santa, and our son is believing you, and
right.
and they take him to court to take custody away
They
from
took
him.
away
And this
full
is
custody,
very-
fully took away
full
custody.
And this
And
is
it
very
had to
reminiscent of
be
Mrs. Doubtfire.
supervised, right?
I don't even think they didn't even go into the
No.
details of how it would
No,
be. They'd be like,
all-
your custody rights are terminated. Pending
Fully
a hearing
suspended.
in like whatever, in like January. Like
Right.
basically
Yeah.
they were gonna have a more full hearing, but until then he had no visitation rights, nothing. And so I feel like, and it was because there was,
And
as they said,
by the way,
Mhm.
this is after they put the 5-year-old on the stand. Like the judge actually,
yeah.
like asks the 5-year-old to say things.
but it was in camera,
And
right? Like I think it wasn't on a
but
stand.
they
He
would
was
never.
like, can I
A
talk
judge
to you
would
real
never.
quick?
At least in New Jersey, a judge would not interview a 5-year-old. That's way too young. A
Especially
judge would not
without any
traumatize a
other, like no
5-year-old.
one was present. It was just him and the 5-year-old
No, and if you're
in the chambers, right?
like if you're making this sort of claim, like where's the psych eval?
Right.
Where's all of this stuff?
There's
The
no,
judge,
there's no like,
just-
yeah, there was no social worker, like no one there representing the
No.
kid. And so basically,
fully
because
took custody away.
they say that Scott has like erratic behavior and delusions of being Santa and the physical changes, I guess, that it's impacting his parenting ability and I guess causing his son to be delusional. And
Right.
I mean, would this happen? Would they take away like custody like that?
I don't think they would do it that quickly.
No, I don't
don't
either.
think, and I don't think that my son thinks that his father is Santa would suffice. Like,
Right.
I think the judge would be like, okay, let the 5-year-old think that his dad is Santa.
Right.
I don't think that this would be something that's a cause to take away custody completely. Like, I think it was very dramatic and very reminiscent of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they took his kids away because he didn't have a job.
That was crazy.
And it was a lot, and it was obviously done for dramatic effect, but I think it was, I think it
It was
was
wrong.
incorrect.
Yeah.
It was wrong. Right. I don't think I don't think it's supported by the law, at least in New Jersey. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, why are you taking this kid away?
I also feel like there's also like First Amendment rights here. Like, I think that there's some issues. Like, are they essentially like the courts are almost penalizing him for his like religious or cultural beliefs? Like, if he believes he's Santa,
Maybe.
like, could that constitute some sort of religious belief? And
No,
that's a
I mean, see,
discrimination issue.
I don't know, because equating it to what you just said, if somebody just sits there and goes, well, I'm the new Jesus Christ, like I kind of feel like people are going to be like, sir, I think you need to be
Right.
evaluated. And maybe you shouldn't have
Right.
custody of your children. Like,
Right.
eh,
Right.
I don't know about
But-
that. But I
but with
definitely
that
think that there
said-
would have been more of an analysis. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
just the fact that Neil is a psychologist is not enough, in my opinion. And
No,
they,
he can't be an expert witness in
they
this.
allowed way too much of him to be involved in all settings.
100%.
The
Right.
court,
100%.
at the meeting with the principal,
Right? Wouldn't they
he
get
was
like
way
a,
too
they would
Oh,
get
God.
an independent like psychologist to
They
evaluate,
absolutely
not
should
like
have.
the stepdad who has like a vested
100%.
interest in the
Yeah.
outcome of this
Right.
custody battle.
Right.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that was annoying.
But with that said, as much as we disagree with the fact that they took custody away from him,
Mm-hmm.
he then effectively, whether we agree with it or
Violates
not,
it.
the order is in place.
He violates
order
by
is in
going to their
place.
house, right?
But not only that,
Yeah.
he effectively kidnaps him. He's basically like, "Oh, you can't come with me. Okay, fine, come with me."
Right.
And he takes him with him, and they go, and that's parental kidnapping.
Right.
Like,
And
again, as much as we could disagree with what the order says, once the order is in place, if you're in violation of it, there's going to be ramifications until you change
And
that
the
order. You can't
ramifications
engage in
came about.
self-help.
There was the cops were involved.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the lookout for them. It was serious.
It was
And
very
yeah,
serious.
And I guess that part does make sense because if there was
For
a
sure.
parental kidnapping, then the
Mhm.
police would be involved and they'd be like setting up like, you know, tapping the phone lines and to see if like the
yes.
guy called, right? Like that all would happen.
Well, I think I don't know if I don't know, would they be tapping the phone lines? Probably, but I think there'd be some sort of like Amber Alert and they'd be
Right.
looking for him. But what are they going to be looking for? The sled's license plate, like the sleigh's
Well, at
license
this point,
plate.
they
Well,
would
still
they
thought
don't-
that
they
he
don't
wasn't
know,
Santa. They
right.
didn't know that there was a sleigh.
Right. So they're not
Right.
looking for anything like that. They don't know that. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
that
luckily he
was-
proves himself to be Santa.
oh god.
And that was
Which, by
lovely.
the way, he does at the end.
I loved that scene where it's like the mystery date game and the little weenie whistle, and that's how like the mom and the stepdad are like, oh, he
yes.
is Santa.
Yeah, maybe he is.
Well, he
I
is
just-
Santa, and also
but, you know-
because you saw him fly off with
Well, I was
reindeer.
about to say, I mean,
He didn't need
For
to.
someone who was so adamantly against this concept and then was so adamantly against him seeing his son, she had like a really quick turnaround. She was like, I'm just gonna rip these papers right up. And it
'Cause
was
she
just
said
this
it was
like
like-
very nice.
It was like
clean,
the way
happy
he was
ending in a
talking
bow.
to the kid. It was like she saw that he was a different person altogether, where he was like, look, this is like, I'm always here for you, but you need to be with mom and Neil. And like, I don't know, there was something that like clicked in her where she was like, this is not the Scott
Yeah.
Calvin that I know. He must be Santa. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But listen, they had to just like kind of tie it in a neat bow.
Yeah.
But then obviously everyone lives happily ever after. All charges are dropped about everything. I mean, I don't know. No
Right, the
one
police
talks
just
about the
go
fact
away.
that the police just go away. No one talks about the fact that this guy effectively killed Santa. Again, he didn't murder him, but he startled him, and
Right.
Santa
Well,
fell
is
off
there
his
a wrongful
roof. I
death
don't know.
suit there with the like? Okay, negligence, unsafe rooftop conditions, or like
Are you supposed to make
I
sure
don't
that your
think that-
roof is
premise?
safe?
Well,
I don't
premises
think so.
liability. Like if somebody breaks into your house and there's like a latent defect in your house, you can get sued, even though that person was like an intruder in your home. I remember learning this in law school. I'm like, what? And you are
Yeah.
still liable for negligence, even
I-
though
On
that
the
person.
roof?
I don't.
Well,
I,
the
well,
roof is-
that's
I mean,
where I think
front-
you lose me.
maybe
It's
the roof-
aspect
Yeah.
of it.
But like,
No
yeah.
one's maintaining the roof for the safety of someone breaking into
No.
my house that way.
Right,
Like, you
right.
know?
Right.
So that one I'm
Um,
thinking no, but I still don't think he had anything to do with it. Santa was a klutz and fell.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing really, like, he was just like, hey, what's going on up there? Like, I'm sorry, you've been Santa for how many years?
Right.
And that's all it takes for you
Yeah.
to fall off a roof and die? I'm
Fall
sorry.
through, right? Like
That's
get
why
your
I
shit
mean,
together.
honestly, let's get really thoughtful about this. Maybe he just got tired of being Santa in the perpetuity
He just, like,
contract,
slipped.
and he's like, I'm just gonna pass the torch.
Yeah, so
and
you have to
I'm
like
done."
basically die
Right?
to get out of the contract. It's a
Right.
really
So-
unconscionable contract.
Yeah.
So now, if we just for just a brief moment jump to Santa Claus 2,
Mhm.
where he's fully embraced his role,
Mhm.
and then what's the clause in there that now says
Mrs.
he's got to
clause.
like find himself a
The
wife?
It's called the
clause.
Mrs.
It is,
clause.
It's the Mrs. Clause.
Right.
It's
And
Mrs.
he doesn't get to stay Santa
If he
unless
doesn't get married.
He gets married within what was the time?
like
frame?
24
Like, it was
hours.
No,
10
no,
days?
within
I
a
don't
year.
remember the timing
It
of
was
it.
really fast.
They just never because
But they let
because
him
they
go back to
stalled-
his normal.
Yes, they
he like loses the
stalled
weight.
telling him.
He
They
goes
didn't
back
wanna
to looking
tell
like
him.
Scott Calvin so he can
Yeah.
find a wife. I don't know.
But,
No,
okay,
no.
number
He
one.
was reverting. It was like
It was
was-
it's because he was
it was-
reverting because he was losing his
He
powers.
was losing his powers.
But
It
also,
was, it was reminding
it
me
was
of
10
Back
years
to-
later.
It was reminding me of Back to the Future.
But-
when like people they start
no.
disappearing.
Yes, yes.
because the
But wait,
timelines-
at which point doesn't Tim Allen then just say, you know what? I'm out.
No,
I'm good.
because he's
I don't need
so
to be Santa
devoted to
anymore."
being the Santa Claus.
He's now so into
Well,
it.
and he had
But-
been the Santa for 7 years at that point, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
at-
you're
at
right.
least.
Because Charlie's
Charlie's already, like, in middle school.
A teen,
Teen.
and Charlie was on the naughty list. This is what got him all
Yeah.
in tizzy.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't possibly require someone to get married just so that they can keep their job. That cannot be a legal
Right.
employment contract.
well, it's a
Is there-
magical
is there-
employment contract.
Is there anything
We need a
even?
labor and employment attorney here.
Oh, I know.
Like,
We
that
need one.
cannot possibly.
Well, I was wondering,
that cannot
is
possibly
he
be legal.
like we said he was an indentured servant? Like, is he an
Yeah.
employee or indentured servant? Like, he has to work annually. He has to relocate to the North Pole, perform labor indefinitely. There's no wage negotiation. There's no termination clause. Like,
He's only
it's a
working-
lifetime obligation.
But only one night a
Yeah.
year. Like,
no, you have to do work throughout the
it's
year
not-
to prepare for that.
I mean, I
There's
guess
so much
But
preparation.
he's got the elves.
I know, but
The elves handle everything.
I feel like Santa
He's
has
the
to do a
boss.
lot, though.
He's the boss.
If you watch the series on Disney, you'll see so much work goes into it.
Guys, I literally have 2 minutes.
Okay. But yeah, so the Mrs. Claus also, it's like another one, because also now she is locked in for life. And does she have informed
Oh my God,
consent
right.
of what she's
So-
entering
and by the
into?
way, he doesn't tell her.
They
"Hey,
get
I'm
married
gonna
very
marry
quickly.
You.
Yeah, even when she's like, oh, you're Santa, and she's in love with him, and she's like, okay, I'll do this. No one has explained to her what that means. Like,
No. Annulment. Grounds for annulment. Grounds for
This
divorce.
is worse than
100%
Shrek.
fraud. Worse than Shrek. 100%. Like, you made me fall in love with you so that you could stay Santa, and now I have to be your co-indentured servant.
Forever.
Hard pass.
I know.
I'm out.
Oh
I'm out.
man,
And
see,
for
I
that
don't know
reason,
about you.
I'm out.
in. What's up with you guys?
I think it would be a
This is
lovely
fun.
existence. I do. I think it'd be a lovely existence.
You know what, Liz?
And
that's
awesome
why.
cocoa and
why,
cookies whenever you want.
Liz, and that's why you're Santa's favorite hoe.
Yes, that's
I am
why.
Santa's favorite hoe because
We
I'm
brought it
all in.
full circle.
I think we
brought it full
ruined this
circle.
one pretty well. I mean, I don't know. It's mostly about the contract, and the contract is invalid. And
Which
Completely.
is kind of sad. It is
so,
invalid.
how
but,
many candy canes do we give this one?
One.
In terms of legality?
I mean, it's
Yeah,
a fest-
it
it's
does
a festive
not
movie, so
do
2.
well.
Yeah, I would
All
say,
right, you're gonna
I'd say
give it
2
2?
because
For the-
I mean the police
for the
did
heartfelt
what they would
factor?
do if there was actual
Okay.
kidnapping in real life.
A
So there's
kidnapping.
one thing that was
So
accurate.
2.
That's what give it
2
two
candy
candy
canes.
canes.
2 candy canes. Okay.
Well, all
This
right.
was great, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We hope we have ruined this really great holiday classic for you because it's what we do best. We ruin all the shit you love.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's what you keep coming back to us for.
And we have so much
we
more to
aim
come.
to
you all-
Yes.
Yes.
We wish you all the very happiest of holidays.
Yes.
Yep.
And happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa and
Happy Boxing Day.
Happy holidays.
Happy New
Oh,
Year.
We
all
will
the
be
things.
dropping
All
an
in one.
And
episode
Happy New
before
Year.
New Year's, probably. So
yes, we're gonna have another episode.
we
before
will
New Year's,
hold
so
off on
we
saying
will
Happy
see
New
you
Year's,
then.
but enjoy the
Yes,
holiday
that's right.
season. Hope we
Yes.
didn't ruin the season for you.
Maybe a little.
Maybe.
Follow us on Instagram at Let's Ruin It Podcast, on YouTube at Let's Ruin It Podcast. Hit that, smash that like button, subscribe.
Smash it.
On
Spotify, Apple
you can find us on
Podcasts.
Spotify.
Yep.
Yes, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you find your podcasts.
Yeah.
And send us your suggestions. We've been getting some really good suggestions.
We're going into the new
and-
year really excited, guys. So come back for
Yes.
more and throw us your ideas.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.